Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Esoteric Influences for the 31st day of January through the 6th of February 2021. Well, okay. I hope everybody had a good week. Let's see, some housekeeping. We did the bind rune. I'm going to do this for a month, for monthly now from now on. I include this in the newsletter, which when I actually published that last night. Um, and I put the esoteric influences in it, and as well as the bind rune for the week, and then or for the month rather, and then subsequent weeks in the month, I'm just going to do a rune divination for that. And so look for that. If you haven't signed up, you can do that either below this video, or you can click on a link to take you to the blog where you can sign up. It's over there on the side panel. Up toward the top, it says sign up for newsletter here. You just put your email in and you can get this in your inbox either Saturday night or Sunday morning. But that's out right now. And let's see what else. I guess that's it. I'm going to do a monthly tarot. I've got the cards ready for it. I'm going to use the Heindel deck. And so I'm going to do a monthly tarot instead of a year. I was going to do a yearly tarot, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to do it monthly. I used to do a monthly tarot reading, and I stopped. I don't know why. But anyway, maybe I just got too much going or something. But I'm going to go back to that, I think, and just do one at the beginning of each month. So look for that over there on the blog, over at imsteppingaside.com. Let's see what else. I think that's it. You can check out my writing over on Medium. I do some stuff over there. Also, I have a Patreon page if you want to sign up and follow me there. It costs $1 a month to do that, or $12 a year. I guess that's it. Anyway, links to all that are below the video. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the human design gates that are or channels rather that are activated by transits this week. And the lunar stuff, the human design stuff, the charts I do there that I get all this from, I do them for 8 o'clock in the morning. And we're using Pacific Standard Time, so that's kind of where that's located, and what time that's done at. If that's important to you, it may be. If you're an astrologer or somebody that looks at that kind of stuff, that might be important to you to know that. But anyhow, and in fact, the magical forecast I do most days, usually 5 days a week, I'm going to switch that from noon to 8 o'clock, so there's some consistency there. I don't know why I chose the other. I really don't, but I just did. Just sort of a general midway time during the day for it. But I think I'm going to just go ahead and do it for 8 o'clock in the morning. I started doing that last week, so I think. Anyway, yeah, I think I didn't decide it. I think I actually did it. So anyhow, that aside, again, I hope everybody's had a good week. Well, I think this coming week is going to be interesting. So stay aware and stay observant, and try not to overreact to things, because there's a lot of really weird things going on that we are all overreacting to, maybe, or reacting strongly to, or something. We just need to maybe wait for a moment to be sure before jumping the gun. But that would be the only overall thing I would say. But we're looking at on the channels that are activated by transits in the human design charts this next week. We're looking at recognition. That reflects the understanding that we determine our own potential from limitation, and that freedom really largely is an illusion. Let me get a better I'm going to sit better here so I feel more comfortable here. Anyhow, it's early in the morning. So awareness is another one that reflects sudden knowing, inspired thought, and renewal. And we've been having that for quite a while. Lately, it's not been there as much, but for a long time, awareness was the main one that was always active. And really, it's higher awareness is what it is. Synthesis is another one this next week that reflects the interrelated nature of life and collectively shared need or belief. The beat is one. I don't think we've seen that one yet. I've seen it before, but not in these. That describes inner resources and instincts that move others in a new direction, and basically that's what's happening now that we have a new president and things are that were authoritarian are being done away with, and things that took our protections away are being, put back in. And so some things you will see calm down, hopefully. But the last one is preservation, and that's a new one. That's describing the values and attention required to preserve the tribe or group. So let's go ahead then and talk about today, Sunday, the 31st of January, the last day of the month. We have a 4 numerology for today. The rune is Rado, which means soul journey in harmonious movement, rhythmic movement with someone else. Think rider and horse. And also you should think process over the goal. Goals are great, but how you get there matters, and Rado's talking about that on Sunday. Tristitia, which is sorrow, sadness, grief, condemnation, protection, holding grudges. That's the geomancy rune for Sunday. And let's see, the moon is fully in Virgo, and the channels, human design channels that are active on Sunday are awareness and recognition. So interactions with others resonate in shared purpose today as you continue to navigate issues surrounding the pandemic. You continue to provide a stable influence for others during this time of grief and loss. That's some of that 4 structure energy there. A reflection on past woundings may be helpful and may provide insight into areas where new perceptions are necessary. Remain open to new ideas and adapt to new experiences. And know that others may benefit from your newfound awareness. As you look within to find inspiration, find consensus with others by collaborating in a manner that draws in and enhances their support. It's time to accept reality as it is, with the lessons of the past informing your future plans. Avoid minimizing mistakes, mistaken perceptions and actions, and dedicate yourself to the expression of truth. There's been a lot of conspiracy stuff that people are finding it's just not working out for them, really. They know they've been lied to. They know they've been duped. They know they've been led down the garden path into nuttiness. And people are having a really difficult time with it. Some are discovering it as they're arrested because they participated in the Capitol siege on the 6th. So we actually have people in Congress that are QAnon believers, that are part of that whole experience, and I think they're going to find that it's not going to work out well for them. So, kind of be careful there. So on Monday, the 1st of February, we're moving into a new month, and that has a 2 energy for this 5 year. But Monday's the 1st, so we have a 1 energy of new beginnings and wholeness and unity and leadership skills and things like that. We have Alyes as the rune for the day, which is elk, protection. It's the bridge between physical and astral realms, reflects higher consciousness. You can kind of see it as like you're raising your hands in supplication. The antlers up there. It's like you're raising your hands in supplication to spirit. Let's see, what is a Caput Draconis? Caput Draconis is the geomancy rune. Now, Caput, we're going to have Kata on Tuesday, but on a Monday, Caput reflects the north node of the moon influence. So you're talking new beginnings, and it's the head of the dragon, the entrance, the upper kingdom. It's really about the future. And also somewhat about the present, but you kind of get both the north and the south moon effect, south node of the moon effect together in the present moment. So the karma and past life influence versus what's happening in the future. So that's kind of how you interpret those. We're in Virgo until Libra at 3:26 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and the human design channels for Monday are awareness and recognition. And again, recognition is important because I think that, we're really talking about how we determine our potential out of limitation, how we can take the constraints around us and then find opportunity from there and develop our own potential from within those constraints. And so the concept of true freedom, what is that really? It's almost like it's a really subjective term in a sense. It's not really something that is real in that sense. You're always going to have some limitations on what you can do. So it's just where we are in life. It's just what we deal with. There's no reason to, to really worry about it necessarily. Just develop your potential from there. So on Monday, allow your perceptions to shift to a higher level of understanding. Be aware of the needs of others and offer comfort and assistance wherever you can. With the moon traveling into Libra in the early morning, harmony with others is favored on Monday. Time spent with a spouse or partner really is a true blessing. But if your work is your focus, now's the time to evaluate your process. Not the progress you've made, but the process itself. And make any corrections you need to make at that time. Keep your vision lofty and your mind, body, and spirit in balance on Monday. Pace yourself on Monday so that you can stay on track. Postpone any issues that can be left for another day and take time to recenter if interactions with others become tense. Now's the time for both a pragmatic approach as well as maximizing the resources that you have. So be sure to include anyone who can assist you toward your intended goal. Again, take another look at the process you're using and see if anything can be tweaked a little bit there to make things work out better for you. So moving on to Tuesday the 2nd, that's a 2 energy for the day. We have Urus, or the primal forming essence, the thought process of spirit behind the manifestation. So are you going to manifest from spirit? You're going to manifest from ego. Wherever that thought process is, that's what we're talking about Urus. It means the aurochs, which is now they're extinct, but it was a very large bull or cow or bison or something. It means health, endurance, energy shaping matter. Kind of looks like a buffalo, doesn't it? With its slanted back right there. We have Cauda Draconis, which is the opposite of Caput. So we're talking again the south node of the moon or the tail of the dragon, endings, karma, evil, the exit. I think evil and karma don't necessarily go together, but geomancers of old saw them that way. They were a superstitious bunch. So it's like, ooh, karma. No, don't worry about that. It's just past life informing the present. That's all. Giving you some pointers, giving you some tips. Watch out for this, right? It means the lower kingdom and termination of affairs. We're fully in Libra on Tuesday, and the Human Design channel is recognition. So we're going to use our past experiences to understand the cause and effect of the situation at hand as you collaborate with others today in finding creative solutions. That's on Tuesday, not today, but Tuesday. In doing so, you may find that necessary change comes easily. It's funny how that works when you collaborate with others. It sort of lifts the load a little bit, doesn't it? You feel supported by others on Tuesday, and if your emotions are in flux or circumstances become tense, don't hesitate to reach out for needed perspective or a new strategic approach. But above all, listen to your inner voice, especially if you're beginning a new path. Intuition is really important when that's happening, and you need to listen to it. Offering empathy and understanding of others will achieve more than an authoritarian approach will do. In other words, this is not the time for an overactive ego. If it seems that your ideals and values have become out of sync with the collective, this may be the time to reassess and realign your perceptions, especially if they've reflected an extremist or rigid viewpoint. Again, people got caught up over the last few years in a bunch of nonsense that was deception based. It was lies. It was leading people, excuse me, in a direction that they didn't need to go. Because none of it was based in truth. It was all manipulation to keep one guy in power. That's all that was. And so there are going to be people during this time who are going to have to take a hard look at that and understand that they got caught up in something that might have been interesting, but that's all it was. It wasn't real. So moving to Wednesday, the 3rd of February, we're looking again at a 3 energy that day. It's catalytic, it's in balance, it's communication, it's interaction. And with the rune, though, we're talking Nathis, which is the Norn rune of the future. It reflects the inner fire, the friction within, will development, protection, goals, overcoming challenges, binding, change, but it's the inner friction within to do that. And we all have that. Just sometimes it's not, as active as it might want to be, but we all have that. We have a missio, which is loss or sacrifice or hesitance or insecurity. And so with that influence for Wednesday, you're going to have to use that inner Nathes to manifest what you need to manifest and take responsibility for what you need to take responsibility for. The moon is in Libra until Scorpio until 6:15 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. And the human design channels are recognition and preservation. So although details are important on Wednesday, don't forget to be aware of the greater picture. And if circumstances appear sketchy or chaotic, remain vigilant in your protection of self and others. As the moon travels into Scorpio, your emotions might become unsettled and self-restraint may become necessary. Scorpios can be really intense. Very focused energy, but very intense energy and typically emotionally charged. So you may also experience frustration due to delays reinforced by Mercury's retrograde position. The Mercury's in retrograde as of, well, it was either went in yesterday or today. I forget which day it began, but we're going to be dealing with just some inner work, inner communication work here for a while. Remain calm, wait for clarity, and avoid conflict with others. Misunderstandings can take place during Mercury retrograde. We misspeak, we have issues that way, and really it's just a time of reflection. Sometimes people notice their electronics are messing up and things like that, but what is that? That's communication, right? So I think, though, that it gives us a time to reflect and reevaluate anytime something goes into retrograde. So the way I interpret that is whichever planet it is, whatever the issues that surround that planet and that planetary influence, you just need to go within and do some inner work that way, and just think about things. I wouldn't freak out about it. It always happens. So, like every so often, it does it 4 times a year. So just understand it's just a time to kind of reflect and kind of look over things and make sure you pay your bills, that kind of thing, that you didn't forget something. But with both the channels of recognition and preservation active on Wednesday, the values of the collective are influencing a shared direction or path with past experiences, potentially the greatest influence of all. There's that south node of the moon there sort of coming in as well with karma. Collaborate with others and let go of ego expressions so that you maintain calm amidst the chaos. This is a time of transition, again, in terms of perception. Again, people got caught up in something that was not healthy for them. They did not understand that it was all based on deception and lies. And now that's starting to come out. And it's going to be hard for them. And we all just have to sit back. If you weren't one of them, you have to just kind of sit back, because maybe you lost friends and family within all of it. And now there needs to be a time of realization. You have to give them the space to do that. And then you have to leave your heart open, I would think. That's what I intend to do. Just leave your heart open for them to come back and have the conversation that you all need to have. And just let them know that you love them and that you support them through this process and that you're there for them, because realistically, it's like someone who's coming out of a cult. You have to be there in a way that's non-judgmental, but yet these are the boundaries, right? The boundaries of truth. This is the truth. So I can't talk to you about what isn't true. I'm not going to reinforce that. I'm going to reinforce the truth, because doing anything else does not help them, right? But at the same time, you've got to balance that with not getting angry at them either for the nonsense that they put the family through or put your friendship through or whatever, right? It was just a difficult time, and we can all learn from it, and we all have to look at it that way. So Thursday, the 4th of February, we have a 4 energy. That's foundation and structure and all of that. We have Kenaz as the rune, so that means the torch or light or illumination or clarity or revelation. It also means healing and intuition and awakening. It also means creativity. Anytime you bring source presence into that mix, you do. Let's see, was Amicio also yesterday on Wednesday? Yes. So these are the 2 days in a row we have Amicio. So Amicio again on Thursday. So loss and sacrifice and hesitance and insecurity. Maybe a little bit, but you can light your way and get rid of that, right? Shine a light on all of that. We also have the moon in Scorpio on Thursday. Let's see, where does it transition? Okay, so it's on Friday that we have it transitioning into Sagittarius. I forgot to write the time down, and I wasn't sure if it was this day, but it's not. It's on Friday. So Scorpio all day on Thursday, so more emotional intensity. It's also the last quarter moon in the morning. It shifts to that. Human design channel for that day is synthesis. And synthesis, let's remind ourselves, it reflects the interrelated nature of life and collective shared need or belief. So on Thursday, if feelings of grief or loss arise, allow the light of source presence to heal your mind, body, and spirit. Focus on routine tasks if possible. That's that 4 energy. And if not, then take the time you need to find your balance. If your emotional balance may feel off on Thursday and tension or conflict may occur, that's the Scorpio influence. This could be a passing thing, so avoid overreaction and let the situation pass until you're feeling more centered. The moon is going to shift on Friday, so you might just, if you need to talk to somebody about something that's too dramatic, then wait a little bit. You may find at that point that whatever occurred, however, was simply a function of the moment or a function of the moon in Scorpio. So just know that. Avoid a pessimistic attitude that may discourage support from others, and remain adaptable if limitations arise. You have a natural gift for timing, so pay attention to your intuition and act when the time is right. Pay attention to your surroundings and take a pragmatic approach if security becomes an issue. Because yes, we're still dealing with people with all these new variants still not wanting to wear masks around people. You got to wear them whether you're inside or out. If you're around someone else, you got to have a mask on. Not just a face shield, but a mask. And now they're recommending with these new variants to wear a dual mask setup, where since we can't get the N95s, we bought the KN95s, which are a 5-layer, they don't give the same protection as an N95, but those are still being reserved for hospital staff and stuff. So we got that, and then we got we can either wear our cloth, which is like a 2-ply mask over it, or we bought some surgical 3-ply ones to wear over it. And then on top of that, we'll wear our face shield when we're in the grocery stores or inside somewhere. But so we still have to do that, right? And so I think that on Friday we have it's a 5 energy, so we're talking change, freedom versus restriction issues. So again, the mask stuff is coming into play again, and it never really has stopped, I suppose. It just hasn't, and it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Just wear a mask. Just don't argue about it. Just wear a mask. I want to see my grandkids. Wear a mask. We need to stop the virus in its tracks. Please, can we not go through another year like the last one? Just nutty. Anyway, is the rune for Friday on that 5 energy day. It's the connection between opposites. It's an as above, so below rune. Let's see, do we have any others this week? No, Sewillo's another one. That's another one that's as above, so below. It went into the bind rune. Did I show you that? I don't know if I did. Anyway, this is the bind rune for the month. And I'm going to do it for a month now. I don't remember if I said that. This is the second time I've done this video because I lost my place and my notes weren't right, and I had to stop and do it all over again. But anyway, I'm going to do this once. If I didn't already say this time, I'm going to do this once a month. And then the rest of the time, I'll have rune divinations. I'm referring now to the newsletter. I've been putting the bind rune for the week in the newsletter, as well as the Esoteric Influences. Only now it's going to be for a month, and then the subsequent weeks within the month, it'll be a rune divination. So I'll have something rune-wise there that's current, but I'll probably just leave a little. I might leave the monthly thing in there as well. So there may be 2 things. I'll just see. But anyway, Iwas is the rune, and it's again link between realms and protection. We have Conjunctio as the geomancy rune, meaning joining and union and agreement with others. So the human design channels for Friday, though, are synthesis and the beat. And again, the beat describes inner resources and instincts that move others in a new direction. And that's really what's happening right now. We are realigning and getting things going in a better direction right now. And I know that, with the new administration and all of that, you're seeing a shift toward that type of energy, that type of energy. So align with others on Friday on a shared path that fosters healing and protection. Allow spirit to inform your perceptions and draw that loving energy into your interactions with others. Again, Mercury's in retrograde, be aware. As the moon travels into adventuresome Sagittarius, this is happening somewhere in the 9 o'clock hour, right? And I'm not sure what time. I have to look at that again. So I just have it listed. So Scorpio until Sagittarius around the 10 o'clock hour, but realistically, it had already shifted at 10 o'clock when I went and looked. So it's sometime between 9 and 10 is when it shifts on Friday. You're going to become even more focused, though, but in a little bit different way, a more adventuresome type of focus, maybe. That said, that same focus may be too intense for others to experience. Choose your words carefully, striking a balance between the needs of others and your own. Tactfulness is at a minimum with people that are Sagittarian. They get caught up in their own momentum sometimes, and they don't realize the effect they have. And so that's kind of what I'm talking about there. If in a leadership position with others, delegate responsibilities while you oversee the greater picture. Make corrections as needed, but remember that potential can be found within limitation, and sometimes you just need to let things play out a bit before deciding to change course. Again, if what's going on is reflected by the position of the moon, that moves roughly every 2 days. So you let it ride for a bit and then see how you feel a couple days later or a day later or whatever. And you may find that your whole perspective shifts on something. So just be aware of that on Friday the 5th. Now, for Saturday the 6th, the 6th energy for the day, we have Isa, another Norn rune of the present or static realm. So I guess we do have two Norn runes this next week. It means alignment, freezing unwanted behavior, consciousness, focus, will development. Also, like Nathis, is the inner will development. This is the same sort of experience. Contraction. So things are coming to a stop for a moment, right, with Isa. Kata Draconis, the tail of the dragon. Endings, karma, evil, the exit, lower kingdom, again, termination. Also on Saturday. And we had that again. What was the day we had that? Was it Wednesday or Tuesday? It was Tuesday. So both Tuesday and Saturday we have Kata Draconis. Again, pay attention to what you know. Let that inform you. Don't discount, something that you know to be true because you've had past experience about it. It's relevant. Now, ultimately in a group setting, you might find, realistically, there's some other things that really matter more than that, but still offer it because it's important. Synthesis is, and again, the moon is in Sagittarius, and synthesis is the human design channel. And again, that's reflecting the interrelated nature of life and the collective shared need or belief. So again, we're getting into this alignment, this realignment, the reestablishment of the collective consciousness as expressed in form. That's what's happening here now. So extend compassion and empathy to others in need. However, if the day becomes too much, especially for those empathic souls affected by the energies of others, like me, you may want to realign away from others and from the chaos of the moment. Take time to refocus and expand your perceptions. The past may be informing the present moment, and you may need to release your attention from those issues so that you can move forward. Take a walk in nature or explore new interests to renew both your attitude and your spirit. That always helps me, just to get out and walk around a little bit. Just sort of get out in the air and, look at things and course, everything is dead right now because it's winter here on the high desert, so I don't have anything really growing. But, it's still nice to go out and go talk to the chickens or whatever, so, because I have chickens. The roosters are hilarious, so they're always fun to go spend time with, especially if we let them out. They usually end up on the deck with us, and so they come to see us. That's kind of fun. So take time to refocus, or I already said that, reflect upon the collective nature of life, and with a focus on preserving harmony with others. Again, realigning, avoiding thoughts that keep you stuck in perceptions that no longer serve a higher goal. Instead, keep your thoughts lofty and your vibration high, and assume a service to others role. I think that that's really what this comes down to. We make that choice before we incarnate into form. Are we going to be service to self? Are we going to be service to others? And right now, we've seen what happens when the service to self runs amok and is on steroids. And it's not a pretty sight. You have people that stormed the Capitol on the 6th of January that are going to go to jail for this, likely. They've been arrested. They've been indicted. This is not a good place for them. You cannot do that and expect anything positive to happen. It's just not going to. And whoever encouraged them, they're likely on the hook for it as well. So you've got all of this, and I think that all of the belief structures that developed over the last 4 or 5 years based on somebody who conned them, all of these things need to find a reset. And we all and if those of us that were not involved in that, again, we have to allow them the time and space to make those realizations. Some of it's going to be forced on them, like the ones that are being arrested. They're being forced into taking a very hard look at what they did and what the stimulus for it was. What precipitated all of it? Who did that? And so those are the kinds of things we're going to be looking at going forward, and we can't be afraid to do that. It's not going to be fun. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be awful. And that's just the way it is. So we're going to have to be prepared for that. More and more things are coming out every single day that sheds a shining light on it. There's a new book out by Craig Unger. He wrote House of Trump, House of Putin. Well, now he's written Compromat and published that, which is how the KGB allegedly turned our last president into a Russian asset. So all the Russia stuff was true. It was all true. And I mean, if you've been reading any of the books that have been coming out by the investigative type journalists that have been writing them, the investigative writers, just reading Craig Unger's 2 books will open your eyes to all kinds of things that suddenly then everything makes sense. So I highly recommend both books. I've read them both, and I got mine on Amazon. You can find them there. So anyway, I'm not selling them. I have nothing to do with it. I just thought that they were incredible and really put into reality what was actually happening and defined all of that. So anyhow, I recommend them both, and so I hope you read them, and it's going to give you tremendous insight. So, and if you're somebody that really needs that, well, then those books are for you. So anyway, that's it, I guess. We'll get together tomorrow for the Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune on Monday, and again on Thursday. And then we'll meet again next Sunday for Esoteric Influences. So I hope you all have a good week. And, be good to yourself. Be good to one another. And blessed be.